The following is a presentation of the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the Chatham Memorial Arena. Historic, loud, and electric venue for Game 2 of the Sutherland Cup Finals, powered by Collins Clothiers between the Chatham Maroons and the St. Catharines Falcons.
Let's go, Chatham!
The series shifts to Chatham for Game 2 tonight after a 7-3 Chatham win in Game 1. In that game, 15-year-old Eamon Edgar was the story. The 2009-born forward had 2 first-period goals as part of a big Chatham first, and then added a third goal in the second to complete a hat trick in the opening game of the final. Also up front for Chatham forward Carter Chadwick had a massive game. He notched 2 goals, including the empty netter in Game 1, and now has 3 goals in his last 2 games. In goal, Gannon Hunter backstopped the Maroons to his 13th win of the playoffs. Hunter stopped 38 of 41 shots on Friday night and gets the nod once again today. For St. Catharines, they fell behind early and couldn't quite recover. The Falcons got a goal from Trayson Dewar, his 7th of the playoffs, to bring them back within 3, but they couldn't overcome the deficit. Despite that, the Falcons controlled the back half of the game, outshooting Chatham 31-16 in the final 40 minutes. As they try to carry that momentum into Game 2, they mix up the lines and go back to Hayden Jeffrey between the pipes. Jeffrey did not finish Game 1, but has been terrific in goal all postseason long for St. Catharines and will look to regain his form today. Prior to this one, let's get to the coach's comments. Here's Chatham head coach Richard Santos and St. Catharines head coach Tyler Bealby.
The formula is going to be, play Chatham Maroon hockey. Don't get distracted with what they're going to bring. You know they're going to bring the energy. You know they're going to bring the physicality. We can't be retaliating after whistles. We got to just let that nip in the bud and just play our game between the whistles. That's all we're going to be preaching tonight. Do not give them an inch, because they're that team that will take that and make it a mile.
The message to the boys will be to embrace the energy, embrace the crowd. There's some Chatham fans standing on the corner of the road as our bus was pulling in, and they made sure that we got all the love that we deserve coming into town. So we just got to embrace that and make sure we're ready. We have to be, intense but not tense. We have to work hard, but we can't be chasing the puck. We have to play within our system, play within our structure, and match that with intensity. That's the important thing to start tonight's game.
Tonight, Chatham tries to take a commanding 2-game lead in the finals in front of a full crowd on home ice, while St. Catharines looks to tie things up in a game apiece. It's the Maroons, it's the Falcons, it's Game 2 of the Sutherland Cup Finals, and Puck Drop is next on 519 Sports. On and in there is Gualtieri. Gualtieri fights for possession with Bassick while Chatham's forwards change. It'll be chipped up the boards. Here's Duplessis. Duplessis ahead to Grenville. Brennan Grenville with space, shoots. Stopped by Gannon Hunter, and he'll hold on. Big save there by Hunter as Lowe gets into it out front. He was toppled over near the Chatham crease. In for the draw is Easton Poirier. Poirier won it, looking for it there, freeze. It'll come back out to center. Forrest knocked down by Truby. Sean Truby comes in, fires a shot, penalty coming up as Truby's taken down. The Falcons will touch up, and we'll get the call. It's tripping, and Chatham will go to the power play. Eamon Edgar for Connor Hunt. Back up high, Ryan Van Netten for Hunt. One-timer blocked by Freeze. Held at the line by Van Netten. Van Netten, cross ice. Richter one-timer. That one blocked. Jeffrey got a piece. Falcons clear. Walks up to the line. Campbell sends it past Chadwick one-timer. That one blocked. Quick pass gets the return feed. Bassick, Chadwick fires a shot. That one blocked by Atkinson. Tried to find Connor Hunt. Comes back around the boards. It'll be forced out to center by Poirier. Poirier got to the blue line. Nearly forced out. Bouncing puck, Dewar corrals it. Dewar out front to chance, and they score! St. Catharines opens the scoring. It's Matt Freeze who was parked out front and buried it. It's 1-0 Falcons just over 5 minutes in. But Liam Campbell plays it back in. Jeffrey through center, cut by Campbell. Campbell some space. Campbell a shot, save, rebound, they score! The Maroons respond. It's Sean Truby, and it's a 1-1 game here in Chatham. Lowe tried to get it up to Dimitro. Dimitro throws it towards the net. That one cut. Richter off the wall. Dimitro plays it into the corner. Here's Grenville, a shot tipped out front. Loose puck. Hunter down. It'll come back now, and Richter skates it out to center. Now up ahead for Tuin. Here's Agremeyer. Juan Agremeyer skating in. Agremeyer a shot. Save. Hunter. Rebound there. He'll cover up and hold on as Marontain and Moore getting into it. So too are Agremeyer and Burnham out front. But they'll be separated by the officials. Off the glass, at the line, nearly held, forced out to center. It's Dewar with Poirier in onside. Dewar a shot, stopped by Hunter. Moore giving chase. Moore around the wall. William Moore centers. Agremeyer, he gets hit hard by Matheson and couldn't take a shot. Hunt the other way. Connor Hunt slips by. Hunt a shot blockered away by Jeffrey. Here's Dimitro. Dimitro takes a big hit from Chadwick. After it now down low with the Maroons. LaChance on the centering pass gets stopped. Chadwick a try. Jeffrey the save. Puck's loose. Freeze looking to clear. Gets it up to the line and out to center. Muty looking for it for St. Catharines. It's out to center. Grenville giving chase. Brennan Grenville cross ice, a chance! Gannon Hunter got across and made a great save to keep this one tied. Here's Lowe. Cameron Lowe in the corner. It'll be sent back in deep by Gates. Now Duplessis tries to center. Here's a shot. Gualtieri's stopped there by Gannon Hunter, and he'll hold on. A great chance set up for Luke Gualtieri, but Gannon Hunter dove at it and made a big save. Ferguson facing pressure. It'll come to Grenville. Grenville loses it. It's out to center. Ferguson racing ahead. Cruz Ferguson stopped by Jeffrey. Rebound comes up to the blue line, and Poirier will clear it. Matheson now at the line, held by Bassick. Goes to Forche Smith. Fires a shot. Blocked there by Dimitro. Forche Smith back with it. His shot hit the official. Van Netten looks to sidestep the pressure that came towards him there. Josh Harding gets it through center. Bouncing puck. Forrest looking for it. Here's Harding over the blue line. Zanudo streaking. Harding centers. Zanudo stopped by Hayden Jeffrey, who got across to make a great save. Forrest up ahead for Dimitro. Now Duplessis. Backhand pass. It misses its target. Gates around the wall. Kucher in there. Hit up high by Dimitro. Kucher down to the ice in the corner. There are penalties coming up. After this second period, things getting chippy in the Chatham end here. Late in the frame. Matheson and Lowe now getting into it. Matheson trying to get after Cameron Lowe. Kucher still down in the corner. 40 minutes in the books, still 1-1 after 2 periods. You're watching the Sutherland Cup final, powered by Collins Clothiers on Flow Sports and 519. Harding facing pressure from Forrest. Now Lowe gives chase. Harding off the wall. Moore holds the line, gets it down low. Here's Cameron Lowe. Pass out front, and they score! St. Catharines strikes at 4-on-4, just 38 seconds into the period. It's Alex Forrest, the 15-year-old call-up with his first of the playoffs, his first in junior hockey, and it's 2-1 Falcons. Chadwick out through center, Campbell looking for it. It'll be taken back by Hibbert. Hibbert through to center, big collision there as Kucher lays the body, and the fans love it. Now Burnham over the blue line. Burnham in, fires. Jeffrey makes the save and he'll hold on. Hayden Jeffrey looked behind him there in the crease, but managed to cover up and get a whistle. Gates tries to find Duplessis. Duplessis cross ice, that's cut low. Centers, Gates a shot. Unbelievable, Gannon Hunter. What a save to keep this a 1-goal game. Wow. Chadwick drops it off for Richter. Richter to Bassick. Bassick stops up. Richter back on it. Bassick again. Bassick down into the corner. It'll be played back up the line. Chadwick over to Bassick, loses the puck, down the ice, Gates, he hits the empty net. Trent Gates ices it for St. Catharines. With 2:11 left in the third, the Falcons take a 3-1 lead. Hunter still holding, now getting called over. Chadwick in the corner. Chadwick up to the line. Van Netten for Gillis. Off the bench, takes a shot. Stopped there by Hayden Jeffrey. He'll hold on, 1:40 to go in regulation. Draw one by Richter. Bouncing puck. Duplessis gets it out to center and into the empty net. Nathan Duplessis, the second empty netter for St. Catharines. And they can smell their first win of the Sutherland Cup final now. It's 4-1 Falcons. Campbell over the blue line. Campbell speeding into the corner, tries to get it to Ferguson. It'll be rimmed around the wall by Freeze. At the line, Kucher. Cross ice for Burnham. Takes a shot, they score! Burnham fired it through traffic. It got deflected out front. And it's Liam Campbell getting on the board for Chatham. It's a 4-2 game with 42.3 left on the clock. St. Catharines looking for a clear. Duplessis empty net in his sights. He misses it. 30 seconds to go. Van Netten towards the empty net, and Duplessis finds it yet again. Nathan Duplessis, his second empty netter. And it's a 5-2 lead for the Falcons. The St. Catharines Falcons march into Chatham and take game two by a score of 5-2. The go-ahead goal from Alex Forrest early in the third period to make it 2-1. They then score 3 into the empty net and win this game 5-2. Hayden Jeffrey, what a bounce-back performance, weathered the storm in goal and led his team to victory.
I think it's just the mentality that our team has. Coach Ty has been preaching to us that we're going to take it 20 minutes at a time during the playoffs, and I think that sort of mentality is just allows us to, even if we have a bad game or a bad shift, we're going to go right back out there and get back to work. I mean, everyone contributed tonight from top to bottom. Our 20-year-olds, like guys like Waltz, Moore, even Forrest, like everyone on our D tonight, they were blocking shots and they're just thinking defense first, and I think if we have that sort of mindset, we're going to do a lot of damage.
So the first period, I thought it was pretty sloppy, and then in the room we got excited, amped each other up, and positive energy, motivation, and then we really brought in the second. We started going low to high and really stretching them out in the big zones, and it worked for us. We got a few opportunities, and we really took pride in our D zone tonight. It wouldn't be without Coach Ty for trusting me and putting me on the ice, and my teammates. Captain Losey had an amazing feed, took it 2-on-1, drew the guy to him, and just found me backdoor. It was honestly all him, and it was a great goal, but I wouldn't be able to do it without my teammates and Coach Ty for trusting me. The leadership group and obviously Hef and a few of the other vets have made me feel welcome. When I was APing during the season, they really made me feel welcome when I would come up to playoffs. And honestly, the adjustment was good because I was already comfortable around the guys and in the dressing room, so it made for an easy adjustment. And I just can't wait to do whatever it takes to help this team win.
First of all, he's just one of the nicest kids I've ever met. Like, he comes to the rink with a positive attitude every day, and he works hard every single shift. And just to see that special sort of talent out of such a young kid, it's really awesome to see. And he's making a huge impact on our team. And we know we're going to be watching him in Kitchener next year, so we wish him all the best.
It wasn't a great first period, but that being said, we got a lot of kids that are going through this for the first time and experiencing something like this. And those Chatham fans and the atmosphere here, they're going to catch you like a deer in the headlights if you're not ready to go. And I thought for the first 10 minutes we weathered a storm. Hayden did a good job, kind of keeping us in it in that first 10 minutes. And we found our legs in the second period. And it didn't go without, me really laying into them. They deserved it. We're in the Sutherland Cup. There's no shifts off. When you think you're working hard, you have to work harder. And I thought that was a big difference between in the second and third period compared to our first. And we saw, obviously, the script flip. in the game as a result. We defended well as a team. I can count on one hand in a decade how many times this team's let up 7 goals against. So, we take pride in our zone and we take pride in defending, and it wasn't a good feeling after that first game. So really, we reminded the guys we have to get back to what makes us special. Yeah, it's going to take a few pucks off the ankle as a result, but that's what it's going to take. We're in the Sutherland Cup final, playing the best team out of the West. And they did that tonight. We had kids blocking shots all over the ice. All of our D, our forwards, and our number 1 shot blocker. And he has been for 2 years, Hayden Jeffrey. At the end of the day, I've believed in this kid since the day I met him. We believe in him. He believes in himself. We just couldn't be happier for him to get that win tonight after that game 1.
I thought our effort in the first period was really good. I thought we had a really hot start, and I thought the shifts got really long, and I think that's when we started to kind of melt down a little bit and gave them momentum. And, yeah, I think just really keeping our energy up and building momentum with short shifts and, playing the right way. I think it's a big wake-up call for us and our team, and I think just get back to, the simple stuff tomorrow at practice and just, really, get the boys together and, we need a big win coming soon. So
I thought we came out pretty strong in the first period, put up 23 shots, played the Chatham Maroons hockey. Then I think we got complacent again. That's a good team. They were here for a reason. And I think that they're a team that, gets to the net, finishes their checks. And obviously you saw their game plan was throw as much pucks as on the net and try and bang and crash there. So I think we have to do a better job with boxing out and keeping them to the outside. And at the end of the day, we just got to capitalize on our opportunities. You saw that their D, packed the house. They made sure we stood to the outside. And then when we did get shots, I thought they got into lanes very well. I'm waiting to see how many block shots they have. If it's under 20, I'll be surprised. We still put up 51 shots, and we still had our opportunities. And we got to bear down and bury your opportunities when you get them. And we can't be selfish, and we can't give up the opportunities that we need to do to win hockey games. We come out in the third period, it's 1-1. It's a fresh start, new slate, and we make a mistake and they put it in the back of our net, and that's all she wrote. We pull a goalie, they score 2 empty netters, and then boys are angry, but the hockey gods aren't going to reward you if you're not working hard and you're not going to out-effort the other team. If you don't out-effort the other team, you're not going to score goals and you're not going to win hockey games.